Coach Prime promises to donate half of his salary to finish the team of the football center that's being under construction, that is being built and under construction right now at Jackson State. It's almost complete, but he wants to speed it up. So he's donating half of his football salary to complete it. Let's talk about it, what it means, and why this is very strategic by the good old Coach Prime. Why it's smart, and honestly, it's a very smart thing he's doing after the bumper. What's good people? What is good people? My name is JeffLightsyJr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, Coach Prime has promised to donate half of his salary to complete the Jackson State Football Center. It came from a video from the pregame show with his business manager, Miss Constance Carter. I want to say her name is Constance Carter. Yeah, his business partner, Constance Carter. Prime commits 50% of his salary. Let me show you a little bit of the video, but we don't want to show the whole thing. You don't want to get no copyright strikes and nothing like that. But this is Prime talking with Constance. They're talking about, I don't know. They're talking about building the center. Him donating 50%.
You got to make it back.
He said, Constance, you got to make it back.
We always make it back.
Okay. And so he's going to donate 50% of his salary. And so here's a couple of things. One, the guys who, you're watching this, you follow Prime, you follow Jackson State, you follow HBCU football, and you understand the man don't make a whole lot from coaching Jackson State in the grand scheme of things. Let me preference by saying in the total grand scheme of college football, we're talking about hundreds of millions and billions of dollars being transferred and exchanged between TV networks and the NCAA and colleges and their conferences and all that stuff. And so there's a lot of money that's being exchanged. And so in the HBCU world, a lot of those coaches don't get paid a whole lot relatively, comparing to the other FCS programs, Group of Five programs, and of course, Power Five programs. So let me preference by saying that. But Prime gets paid, he gets paid a couple $100,000 a year. And he said he's going to donate, that half of that to getting that football facility built, getting it speeded up. He wants it done before fall camp. And this is very smart and very strategic on two fronts. One, Prime understands what he is doing at Jackson State in the grand scheme of things. He knows, and he might even know to the lengths that it could go, but only he knows exactly what his plan is for JSU as long as he's the head coach of the Tigers. Only he really knows. And then he'll probably reach heights, and probably has already reached heights that he didn't even think that he could reach, especially not this fast. I mean, we're talking about grabbing the number one player in the country. We're talking about grabbing multiple 4 and 5 stars, whether it's via the transfer portal or whatever, and already getting a guy drafted. I mean, they just had a guy drafted. It was the late round, but they had a guy drafted, point blank period. Winning a SWAC title, going undefeated in the SWAC, et cetera, et cetera. But also, Prime understands that this is not just a donation he's giving to his own program, to his own team, to the facility or whatever. This is an investment, because getting that facility done faster means that when people start coming to the games and recruits start visiting the campus, that facility is done. They're not having to envision what the facility will look like. They actually get to see the completed task. And right now, Destroying did a really good video when he went and visited Jackson State, and he took a tour of the new facility. But it's all like, oh, we're almost done with that, or oh, this is what it will look like. Oh, that looks good for right now, but I can't wait to see what this is going to look like when it's finished. Prime knows by getting that finished before the start of the fall season, the recruits no longer have to envision what it will look like. They will actually see what it looks like. And not only recruits, the alumni can get excited about it. The fans can get excited about it. The city of Jackson, Mississippi can get excited and get behind it. And when you have this, and then you go out and do what they're expected to do, which is win, that is when you draw in more recruits. That is when you draw in more recruits. And what does more recruits mean? More and better recruits mean? It means better results on the field. And what does better results mean on the field? That means potentially more sponsorships, potentially more endorsements, potentially more partnerships. And what does endorsements and sponsorships and partnerships mean? Well, that means your guys can potentially get bigger and better NIL deals. And what does that mean? You'll get more recruits. It's a constant cycle. And so Prime will make that up by getting in more Aflac commercials or getting in more stuff with Barstool, or renegotiating his contract with Barstool, or whatever. Because now not only is he Deion Sanders, the Hall of Fame college football player, the Hall of Fame pro football player, the greatest cornerback in the history of the NFL, but now he's one of the best college football coaches, period. One of the best college football coaches, period, if you dominate on the field. Not just in the HBCU world, but see, because of Deion Sanders' status. See, one thing Prime obviously he has is the luxury of being him. Nobody else can say that they are him. Nobody else in the SWAC, the MEAC, the CIAA, nowhere else in college football can they say I'm Deion Sanders. And so the luxury of being him in the HBCU space is that if he gets to dominating, which is winning SWAC championships and in winning celebration bowls, we can't skip out on that. But if he gets to doing that, people won't limit him in a scope that they might try to limit a Willie Simmons, or might try to limit a Connell Maynor, or might try to limit a Fred McNair. And what I mean by that is, when Fred McNair was winning the SWAC and doing his thing, he was a good coach at an HBCU. He was good for an HBCU. He's a good coach for an HBCU. But if Deion Sanders, and this is the luxury of being him, starts winning SWAC championships and then starts winning celebration bowls, he will be a good college football coach, period. He will be just a good college football coach. And then obviously the Power Fives and the other group of fives or whoever will be clamoring to try to get him on their campus. See, that's the luxury of being him. No disrespect to anybody else in the SWAC or the MEAC or whatever, but that's just because of who he is and what he accomplished before he ever became the head coach of Jackson State. And so this is an investment. This isn't a donation. This isn't it's a temporary, a very minute temporary sacrifice in the world, in the life of Deion Sanders. You guys check out his Instagram. Y'all see his house. Y'all see where he lives. He ain't missing no meals. He ain't missing no checks. And so this is a investment into his program that could pay massive dividends for Jackson State. Because to have those recruits on campus, see, that's how you get the recruits. They get on campus, they see what you offer, they see how you coach, your playing style, how they can incorporate into the actual football team, and then they like to see the glitz and glam. They like to see the facilities. They like to see the 60,000 people in the stands. They like to see the bands and the homecomings and all the extra fluff, right? Obviously, the X's and O's matter. How they can fit it into an offense, to a defense, on the O-line, on the D-line, in the secondary, as the quarterback, as the running back, as the receivers. All of that stuff matters too. But the extracurriculars matter as well, and that includes a football facility. So this isn't a donation. This is an investment, and it's an investment that could pay massive, massive, massive dividends for JSU. Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Once again, my name is JeffLightsYJr with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that thumbs up button. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. That is on Instagram and Twitter at JLightsy7. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you next time. Peace.